Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Star Aligned Oracle YouTube channel and the Lucky Stars community. Cat Star here with your money career reading for the week of March 31st through April 6th. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also want to give a huge shout out to all of the new and returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Happy Friday. Happy last Friday in March of 2023. Tomorrow, jumping right into April. All right, let's go ahead and see what we have here. I hope you all have had a fabulous week. We've got quite a few cards out here, or that came out here. So let's see. Oh, all right, what it is. So your first card out here, of course, we're going to go ahead and get some more cards, some tarot cards out with us. But your first card out is get out of your comfort zone. Jumping cards here. So some of you have been really staying in a comfort zone. Okay, now the card that the cards that came out with that is the Two of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So some of you have been really staying in a comfort zone, staying where it's comfortable, you know, kind of almost where it's safe or what you've known, right? If you've been on the channel for any amount of time, then you've probably heard that I stayed in a job for 20 years. And at the end, I was only holding on because I had my own parking spot, right? I had my own personal, because I had been the longest employee with the company at the time. I had my own personal parking spot. And that's the only reason I was staying, because I felt, you know, like I was finally being honored for all of the years, right? But that was just a comfort zone. That was my fear that was holding me there, that was making that such a prize. Now, you know, for some, it can be a prize to have your own private parking spot or your own personal parking spot, and it was for me. But in that situation, in my situation, I was just staying there because I was scared, or I was in a comfort zone. I was afraid to do anything else. And so it seemed like that parking spot at that time, after just about 20 years, that it was kind of my recognition. But was it, right? So it's time to get out of your comfort zone. Now you have the Two of Cups with that. And the Two of Cups is coming through here with this energy of really moving into a space of being in kind of good relationship or good rapport with others, with colleagues, with co-workers, with employees, however that resonates for you here, Aquarius, right? Being in good rapport. So some of you have gotten into a space where maybe you aren't very excited to go to work due to the fact that you have a boss that maybe you don't get along with. Maybe you have coworkers or even employees that you don't get along with. Maybe you're the boss. It's time for you to get out of that comfort zone and move into a space where you will feel as if you are in good rapport. Also, and or also time to kind of create a space or create energy around yourself where you can almost mend relationships in the workplace, right? As far as that goes. Because when we get comfortable, sometimes we can get kind of lazy and we can get kind of complacent, if that makes sense. So for some of you, it's time for you to really kind of come out of that. Now you also have that Knight of Pentacles energy here. So really moving into this energy, getting out of that comfort zone energy where it's just kind of lackadaisical, and moving into this energy of really kind of being driven again, or focused, right? For some of you, this is moving back into a space of hard work, or putting work in instead of just doing the very minimal. Okay, so this week is going to be a week, potentially, Aquarius, where you are also learning to apply yourself. Okay, some of you have gotten into a place where, right, we've already talked about that, where it's just easy just to go and do the humdrum, the everyday, and not really applying or doing anything outside of kind of the norm. Almost as if you're getting away with as little as possible. Yet some of you are expecting to have like raises or promotions, or getting, you know, new fabulous kind of perks, that sort of thing, or having more time off, or benefits, vacation, however that comes through for you, Aquarius. A lot of those are pretty similar, but they can come through in different ways for different people. For some, vacation is something that is kind of a, like, well, I can use myself in this instance as well. I had to have credits and take classes and to stay within my level of my profession. And there were times where almost, certain employees weren't in a space to earn to even go on those to Vegas, to New Orleans, to that kind of thing. And so this is really for those, right, that have gotten lackadaisical. It may be time for you to begin to apply yourself in different ways, or to learn how to apply yourself again in any respect, because some of you have just really kind of been going through the motions, and not doing a lot to create any changes or any movement, and yet expecting for there to be changes in movement. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, now you also have the Queen of Wands coming in with that. So some of you have really lost the passion, and there's not a lot of determination. There's not a lot of passion with your work, but it is time to turn that around. Spirit is indicating that if you can get yourself to feel inspired again, it opens up this new kind of space where you can be an inspiration and inspire others around you. This really comes through with this energy of kind of moving into this energy of confidence, knowing what you do. If you've been there that long and you're just kind of, and some of you may not have, some of you may just be really damn good at what you do, okay, Aquarius? But if you've been there, like, for a little bit, and you're just kind of bored because you're just going through the motions and you know what you're doing and stuff, if you can find a way to spice that up a little bit for yourself, you can see, especially if you're head of a department or a manager of some sort, if you can spice it up, if you can give that determination or passion and put it right back into it, you'll begin to see that you can really create that within employees as well, right? Because if we're not challenged, or if we're kind of bored, which is the energy that's kind of coming through for you here, Aquarius, if we're not challenged or we're kind of bored, we can again become complacent. We can get in comfort zones. We can stop applying ourselves. But if we can get out of those comfort zones and begin or learn again how to apply ourselves in a more determined or passionate way, in a way that can inspire others, we can see that we can bring that through others as well, and create a work dynamic or a work environment where people come and are passionate, are determined, are focused, and are ready to really give their best efforts. So what's coming through here, Aquarius, is that as far as, employees or maybe you're the employee, however this comes through, but we kind of get what we put out. So if we're, kind of lackadaisical and not really excited within our own job, or within our management, or within the work that we do, or even the business that we own, then that's going to shine through, and our employees may show up in that same light. But if we can become passionate, and we can become determined and feel that inspiration to go bigger and better, to get out of the comfort zone, to really apply ourselves, then there's a big chance that we can see that that rubs off on the people around us, and that we get the same, right? It's almost as if we get back what we put in, Aquarius, and those around us are following our example. So really be passionate, get into that Queen of Wands energy, that passionate, confident energy, to really move not only yourself and kind of where you may feel as if things aren't moving, and yet you would like movement as far as work goes, and money, because right, when we can apply ourselves, get out of that comfort zone, and do bigger, better things, then we tend to get bigger, better in return. But it doesn't only work that way for us, it also kind of has that ripple effect of inspiring the people around us, okay? And you also have make negotiations, so are making negotiations. So some of you, what is coming through here is that not only are you going to be making negotiations potentially with others, but you're making negotiations with yourself here, Aquarius, because, over time, right, this is kind of coming around over time, when you're getting out of a comfort zone, when you're learning how to apply yourself or reapply yourself to something, there's going to be negotiations that need to be made. This could be with yourself, but this also could be with others, because the next card you have is petty people around you. Okay, so what is coming through with that is, I'm going to get some more cards out here. Ooh, interesting. What is that? Looks like the Three of Swords. Yeah. Um, yeah. Uh, Oops. What is coming through though is that we have made a decision over time, either out of boredom, which isn't that interesting that the Lovers comes out, so a decision, right? We have made a decision over time to, kind of just let things be as they are, or not apply ourselves as much. And so then we need to just go back and make negotiations, make changes, make new decisions, right? About how we're going to show up. For some of us, we have been doing the same thing for so long that we get into this almost Three of Swords energy, which is super interesting energy. Three of Swords, this is really feeling conflicted within yourself, right? Petty people around you, making negotiations. Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? If getting out of your comfort zone, of course, doesn't involve, and learning how to apply yourself again doesn't involve staying within a same work environment or same business, same co-worker, same boss, or you being the same boss with your employees, of course. If it doesn't, then it may be time to kind of make a decision, right? Make negotiations and look for something else that is going to be more kind of up your alley for where you are now, right? Because we grow and we change. We have these lessons that come through, but some of you are coming through very conflicted, right, within this process during this time, Aquarius. So it may be time for you just to make the decision with that Lovers card, because that Lovers can be right? It can be a romance or it can be a partnership, but also this can come through. It used to be called the decision card. So this may be that it's time for you to make a decision to either stay on the pot or go. That's not obviously how that saying goes, but it's time for you to potentially make a decision. There's conflict in between you, Aquarius, because if you're feeling like you're still you're not in a comfort zone and you're still applying yourself to the best of yours, and you're determined, and you're doing all the things, then it may be time to make a different choice, make a different decision, making those negotiations. For others of you, it's time to negotiate again with yourself. You're feeling that inner conflict of what it is that you can do to apply yourself more or to get out of that comfort zone. Sometimes we feel like we're doing all of the things. We feel like we're doing everything, and then we feel, conflicted because we're like, what? We've been doing everything. And then we can begin to feel a little bit hurt, or a little bit out of scope is what's coming through here. So you make negotiations with yourself. What can I do maybe 1% better, or how can I show up or apply myself in one way? It doesn't have to be all the way across the board, but beginning somewhere, okay? And then you also have the petty people around you. So for some of you, when you make that decision with that Lovers card to begin to kind of move into a different direction, and sometimes this can come through for sure more so, this is just from my own experience, may not be your experience, but in an upper level or a management position, when you can begin to kind of, people can see that as almost being kind of fake in a way, Aquarius. So just be aware of that. People may be a little bit petty when you make that choice, when you make that decision to move into that, right, with this Lovers card. People can see it as you being kind of, what is the word I want to say? Fake. That's the word that came out already. It's the word that's coming out now. Also, for some of you, when you get into that with that Lovers, you have that Three of Swords, and then you have the Lovers back to back with that. So some of you had a relationship that went sour within the workplace, but there may be somebody else coming in. This doesn't feel, Aquarius, and I'm just going to put this through because that's what's coming in. It doesn't feel as if it's in your immediate workplace, but it might be somebody that you speak to on the phone, or somebody that you contract with, because you have contracts and paperwork down here too. Somebody that you maybe don't see all the time, depending on the kind of work you do. It could be a delivery person or something like that. But you did have a heartbreak for some of you, and you're coming out of that and on the mend, and it might be around a new relationship or a new kind of romance coming in with somebody at work. Now then you also have contracts and paperwork. So this could potentially, if you play your cards right here, Aquarius, it could lead to more work for you, to more kind of contracts, to having this energy around you of being more fulfilled, more open, right? Applying yourself in different ways. Ooh, Queen of Swords energy. And really using your mind to create solutions, to create this energy of jumping or getting out of the comfort zone and applying yourself in different ways that are more productive potentially than what you have been doing in the past. Okay, for some of you there's this respect that starts to bubble up after or once you get around or outside of these petty people over here, Aquarius. Okay, so people begin to see those changes and you begin to get more work. For some of you also, there's going to be paperwork that's coming through that is a little bit more than what you may be used to. Okay, and then you also have the Eight of Wands. So once you apply yourself to this, Aquarius, this is going to be pretty quick. Also with that Eight of Wands energy, there's a potential that some of you, somebody takes notice, right, in that contracts and paperwork, takes notice of that energy that you're moving into, getting out of that comfort zone, applying yourself, negotiating, and, really making new choices, new decisions, and really inspiring others or having that passion or that newfound determination. And there's a potential that another company or somebody from another company or kind of a rival company sees that, Aquarius, and actually gets in touch with you to kind of see if you might be interested in a position with their company that could be higher pay. It could be a something, right? Because you have also that going back to the making negotiations and the conflict within yourself. Some of you are just done with where you're at, but by putting this initiative in and moving into this kind of new energy that some of you had let kind of get stale over the past, but now that you have are deciding or have chosen to move into this new energy, this there may be this communication from another company, and this may just be a company that you have really been looking into. Again, that conflict coming through. So some of you, it's just time for you to leave this. That doesn't mean that you can't, before you leave that, make some changes and then have another company really, really look at you and be like, wow, this person is really motivational. This person is really making an impact. This person is really making some positive moves, and I would like to have this person on my team. Okay, so this could be coming in very, very quickly. Either way, Aquarius, you are with this Eight of Wands energy. You're making an impact. You're inspiring others while you are working on and doing this kind of upgrade or up leveling for yourself. It's calling other people, and it's bringing this energy of inspiration to others. You're making a big impact, Aquarius. So keep doing what you're doing because your bottom line is going to grow because of it. Okay, all right, beautiful. I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit the like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new readings. It is free for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and it does support the Lucky Stars community in growing and thriving. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all the current and with all of your current and future endeavors, and I'll see you in the next reading.